Welcome to Clear News Daily for Thursday, May 7, 2026. Everything you hear is purely news and facts. We share no opinions and pass no judgment of any kind. Today we cover world news, news from the United States, tech and business, sports, and fun news. Let's get started. Now let's turn to world news. Two big international stories today: a key diplomatic meeting at the Vatican and new signs of possible progress in the US-Iran conflict. Pope Leo XIV is the first American-born pope, making this a unique moment in US-Vatican relations. Trump's public criticism of a sitting pope is unusual, and the Vatican's opposition to the Iran war adds a religious and moral dimension to the conflict. Rubio's visit is a signal that the White House wants to keep the door open despite the public clash. A one-page peace proposal is a very short document for a conflict of this scale, which suggests the talks are still at an early stage. Trump's optimism about a deal within a week is notable, but peace talks often take longer than leaders expect. Iran's formal reply will signal how serious both sides are about finding a way out. Next up, news from the United States. Two stories today: a historic milestone for the national debt and a White House visit from Brazil's president. The last time debt topped GDP was right after World War II, when the US had spent heavily to win the war. Crossing this line now in peacetime is a sign that the government has been spending more than it earns for a long time. Higher debt can push up interest rates and reduce what the government can spend on services. Brazil is one of the largest economies in the Western Hemisphere and a key trade partner for the United States. Lula's strong public opposition to the Iran war makes the visit unusual, since the two leaders disagree on a major foreign policy issue. How they handle that gap in private will matter for the relationship going forward. Now for tech and business. Two stories today: a stunning growth report from Anthropic and a strong earnings result from energy giant Shell. Growing 80 times in a single quarter is an extraordinary number, even for a fast-moving AI company. Claude Code appears to be the product driving much of that growth, suggesting that developers are adopting AI coding tools at a rapid pace. The challenge of keeping up with demand is now Anthropic's main bottleneck. Shell doubling its earnings in one quarter is a striking result that reflects how global energy disruption can push oil company profits higher. When energy markets are unstable, companies that keep operations running well tend to benefit. The results could draw attention to how much energy companies gain from global conflict and supply shocks. Time for sports. Two stories today from the NBA playoffs and Major League Baseball. A 38-point margin in Game 2 is a dominant response from San Antonio after losing Game 1. Wembanyama's impact in only 26 minutes shows how much he can control a game without playing a full load. The series now shifts to Minnesota, where the Timberwolves will need to make major adjustments to take back the advantage. De La Cruz hitting home runs from both sides of the plate in the same game is a rare feat and points to his growing offensive maturity at just 24. 8 home runs early in the season is a strong pace for a shortstop. Cincinnati scoring the first 9 runs shows how dominant the Reds were from the opening pitch. Here is a quick recap of everything we just covered. Secretary Rubio met with Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican as tensions rise over Trump's criticism of the Pope's stance on Iran. Iran reviewed a U.S. peace proposal, and Trump said a deal could come within a week. The U.S. national debt topped 100% of GDP for the first time since World War II. Brazil's Lula visited the White House to talk tariffs and Iran. Anthropic said Claude AI grew 80 times in the first quarter, fueled by Claude Code. Shell earned nearly $7 billion, more than double the prior quarter. In sports, the Spurs beat the Timberwolves 133-95 to even the series. And Elly De La Cruz hit 2 home runs as the Reds beat the Rays 12-6. And now for some fun news. A humanoid robot in Seoul became South Korea's first robot to take part in a Buddhist initiation ceremony, receiving a Dharma name meaning mercy. A California truck driver won $100,000 on his very first lottery ticket, a crossword scratch-off he bought to kill time at a Maryland truck stop. A 250-pound black bear fell asleep in a Colorado basement window well and was carried out on a stretcher before getting a free ride to the wild. A 49-year-old from Aruba earned his 10th Guinness World Record by pulling a bus with only his neck. Google Maps sent Toronto drivers the wrong way down a one-way street for days. And a dog joined an Indianapolis mini-marathon and ran part of the course before police stepped in to find its owner. And that is your fun news for today. And here are some other stories making news today. North Korea said it is not bound by the Global Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Florida launched a new high school history course as an alternative to AP US history. SpaceX filed plans to build a $55 billion semiconductor factory in Texas with Tesla. The Knicks beat the 76ers 108,102 in Game 2 to take a 2-0 series lead. The 2026-27 Hollywood Awards calendar has been set for the Oscars, Emmys, and more. Netflix confirmed The Night Agent will end with its 4th season. And Josh Groban received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And that is a look at some of the other stories making news today. Thank you for watching Clear News Daily for Thursday, May 7, 2026. These summaries are shared for awareness to help you stay connected with what is happening around the world. Everything you heard today is purely news and facts with no opinions or judgments. Stay curious and stay informed. We will see you next time. That is a wrap for today. If you found these headlines useful, please like this video and subscribe to Clear News Daily for fresh headlines every day. Hit the bell so you never miss an update. See you next time.